Welcome to Krista Kubik Yoga. My name is Krista, and today I have a back bending sequence in store for us. On our back bends, we're going to open up through the front body. We're going to strengthen that back body. Back bends are designed to stimulate and leave us with a sense of lightheartedness and buoyancy all throughout the heart space. So I want you to enjoy today's practice, have some fun, let it be playful. We do need a block today, so make sure you have a block. If you don't have a block, a pillow from your house would do, something that we're just going to hug our thighs into. You'll see as we get going. And also a strap or a belt of any kind. So I'll give you a moment, go ahead, gather those props, and I will meet you on the mat. So we're going to begin lying down on our backs in Shavasana. Have your yoga block handy. Just put it along your side. We will be using it. Let's go ahead and take a comfortable position on your back. Lay all the way down. Cross at your shins like you'd be coming into a cross-legged position. Either shin in front is just fine. Just get comfortable. Draw your tailbone a little closer to your shins, heels. And then take your arms behind you, please. And let's just cross to the forearms. Maybe you find opposite elbows. Just allow those arms to come back behind you. And let your body settle into the earth here for a moment. We always want to take a moment just to stop before we start. Start to feel your presence here on your yoga mat today. Feel into your physical body. Notice what you notice. Take a deep inhale here through the nose. And as you exhale out the mouth, let any physical tension drain out through the body. Take another inhale here. Check in with your energy today, your energetic body. Notice the energy you brought to your mat. And when you open your mouth, exhale and relax even more. And that sense of spaciousness in your energy. Take this next breath in through the nose. Inhale deeply as you check in with your emotional body. Anything that you might feel entangled in right now, take this breath in nice and deep. Any overthinking. And as you exhale, let it go out the mouth, relaxing even more. Inhale deeply through the nose. Check in with your wisdom body, your intuition, those things you know just because you know. They're already within you. Exhale and relax into that knowing. And we'll take this last breath here. Inhale deeply, right into the heart. Feel into that heart space. Your bliss body. Exhale and relax completely, melting right into the heart. Take this last moment as you come into intention for this practice today. As you pick a tone, a feeling, how would you like to feel today? And feel into the spaciousness of that. As you move through this practice today, you weave this feeling, this tone, this bhavana throughout your practice, really embodying this intention. One more breath. Beautiful. Draw the knees into the chest, hug your arms around your shins, flex your feet, curl up, nose towards knee. Draw the low belly in. We Open up through those back ribs, and then exhale, lower your shoulders back down to your mat. Spread your arms out nice and wide like airplane wings. Spread out through the fingers, press the backs of the shoulders down. Draw the belly in towards the spine. As you exhale and take a simple twist here, just draw the knees over to the right. Soften down through the left shoulder. Hug the belly in. Really start to articulate around the spine, twisting vertebra by vertebra all the way around. Maybe you turn the chin towards that left hand. One more breath here. Widen through the breath. And then inhale, hug belly in, knees come to center. And we'll take that same twist over to the left, knees to the left. Hug belly in. Soften down through the back of that right shoulder. Can you spin down through the right ribs? Maybe turning your chin over towards the right shoulder. If that doesn't feel good yet, keep your neck in neutral. Again, we're just starting slow. We're opening up the body. So one of the tenets here is to really practice with equanimity. We're not pushing, we're not pulling, we're just finding balance. So pull the knees back into the chest here. And take your feet to the earth, hip bone distance apart. I want you to find that yoga block now, or your pillow, whatever it is you're using. Do the long edge, draw it up in between your upper thigh bones. Walk your feet in just a little closer. Maybe you can even brush the backs of the heels with your hands here. Find the edges of your yoga mat. Hold on to the edges, like you're going to pull this yoga mat apart from the center. Press down evenly through the feet. Feel all 10 toes pressing down, center of the heel, and then start just to lift the hips up here. Good. As you press through the feet, lift the hips up even higher. Now start to hug your inner thighs into that yoga block. As you're stretching the mat with your hands, can you walk the shoulders underneath you towards the spine? Keep hugging in. Press your feet down and your shins towards the back of your yoga mat. And as we continue to spin the inner thighs down, can you start to lift up through the pelvic floor? And start to bring the sternum a little closer to the chin. Good. Pause here. Keep your hips lifted. Really nice. Just give it one more breath in this bridge pose. Maybe walk the shoulders in just a little more. We're not looking for your biggest back bend yet. Just starting to introduce the concept here. Okay, so the thighs are neutral. Frontal hip bones lifted up just slightly. Your tail lengthening towards the knees. And then release the shoulders one by one. Really nice. Lower your spine down. Paint it down from the top to the bottom. Keep what's in between your inner thighs there and take your feet up to a tabletop position, or knees in line with the heels. Take your arms behind your head. Let's warm up through the core. Spread out through the elbows. Just cupping the back of the occiput of the skull. Good. Hug the belly back to the spine. We're going to start to wake up through the transverse abdominis here. It's a big horizontal muscle that wraps your entire torso. Deepest layer of the core. So one of the most important ones to strengthen here. As you inhale, lift up your chest. Good. Keep the elbows wide. And then exhale, tap the heels down, lower the shoulders down. Try to keep your low back pressing into the earth. Good. Inhale, lift the knees just to, and lower down. Good. Inhale, hug belly to spine, lift up. And exhale, tapping heels down, keeping that low back pressing into the earth. Good. Inhale, use your core to lift the legs. Exhale and lower down. Beautiful. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down. Keep squeezing that block. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Good. We've got 5 more. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. I'm not sure I counted right, but I think we've got one more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down. Beautiful. Place those feet down and take that yoga block right out. Great work. Hug the knees in and start to rock back and forth, massaging out that spine a few times. If that doesn't feel good, just roll over to your side, and we're going to meet on all fours in tabletop position. Beautiful. On your tabletop, I'm just going to take a moment here and get all this hair out of the way. Comfortably take your wrists underneath your shoulders, walk the knees back so they're comfortably underneath the hips. Now spread your fingers wide, point your index fingers towards the front of your mat, and then start to draw your chest forward. As you press your hands down, feel the collarbones widen and that tailbone tip up. Exhale here, ground down through the hands, draw the low belly to the spine and puff up through the back ribs, taking chin towards sternum. Inhale, tip the tailbone up, pull the chest through. Keep your hands pressing down, tops of the feet and shins. And as you exhale, round that upper back. Really start to draw up through the pelvic floor, hugging the frontal hip bones towards one another. So you're corseting in here at the waistline. And that's going to activate that transverse abdominis. Good. Inhale, lengthen through the whole spine. And exhale, press down to round, scooping in and up. Give yourself just one more here, a nice big inhale to stretch, lubricating the spine. Really open up through the collarbones. Keep the gaze just off the tip of your nose so where all four sides of the neck are long. And exhale, rounds. Good. Stay in the rounding. It's like you could feel those back ribs carving around towards the front, towards your center. Tuck your toes under. Keep looking at the feet. Press the hands, lift the knees. Come into your first downward facing dog. Shift into a structure here. I want you to feel the structure, turning on your muscular energy here in this pose. Good. Start at the hands, press down through the whole circumference of the hands. Maybe you gaze up, see that your index fingers are pointing forward, wrists are parallel. Lift strongly up through the forearms and start to wrap the biceps towards the ears. The triceps are going to naturally wrap underneath you when you do that. Armpits are turning in slightly towards the heart. You feel that wide spread across the shoulder blades. Draw the front ribs up into the body, lengthen the back ribs. The tailbone lifts up towards your sky. Can you press into the balls of the feet? So you feel that wide circumference of the balls of the feet. Gaze back between your feet. Let those heels disappear between that second and third toe. Begin to draw the energy now up through the inner thighs. Pretend like you have that yoga block there still and squeeze, spin those inner thighs back. Lift the tops of thigh bones up into the pelvis. Reach back even more. One more breath. Feel into the physical structure here of this pose. The balance, the evenness. Gaze up between your hands as you inhale. Let's flow into plank pose. Stop when the shoulders are right over the wrists. Good. Press out for the heels. The heels are right over the balls of the feet. Frontal hip bones gather towards the navel and the sternum reaches forward. On your exhale, lift your hips up and back. Return to downward facing dog. Arms are strong and straight. 2 more rounds just like that. Use your whole inhale to come forward into plank. Lengthen through the sternum bone, gaze forward. And then exhale, shift the hips up and back. Return your gaze between your feet. Inhale, glide forward, plank, press out through the heels, sternum rebounds forward, and then lift up, exhale, shift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good, take this inhale, come forward into your plank pose, keep that gaze forward, bend your elbows 90 degrees here, upper part of a push-up as you lower down, chaturanga, lower your body all the way to the earth. Roll down through the tops of the feet, pinky toes slide down. Take those arms back, or hands back, sorry, so directly underneath the elbows. Find that long line in the body. And then as you start to lift your chest, feel your elbows hug in towards one another, inner borders of the shoulder blades coming towards the spine. The pelvic bones are pressing down, but the belly's hugging up towards the spine. Good. Now with a strong lift of the inner thighs, shins, knees lifting. Can you lift your hands up here? So feel the strength here required in the back body as you lengthen through the front body. Good. Give it one more breath. Holding here. Beautiful. And then exhale, lower down. I did not do a good job at bringing my strap closer to me. So as you come on down to your body, take your yoga strap or belt now and take it behind you. And I want you to turn your palms to face down. Okay, so not palms up, palms face down. Hold that strap. Keep pressing down through the tops of the feet really strongly. Pinky toes are rolling down. Draw your elbows towards one another. Press down through the frontal hip bones, but draw belly up to the spine. Good. Gather the energy up through the pelvic floor so that you can lengthen the whole torso. And then lift the torso and start to reach that strap back towards the heels. Find that long line of energy here through the arm bones. Good. Externally rotating the upper arms. Shoulder blades are pressing into the back, chest is lifted. One more breath. Good. That nice stretch of the upper back. And exhale, lower down. Good, that's it. Move your strap aside. Hands come right next to that lowest set of ribs as you tuck your toes. Good, now let's practice this. Can you press your hands down, lift just the hips, and then press your arms to straight, and exhale, return to downward facing dog. Good, take a couple breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Good, how did that change your energy, perhaps? Feeling into that energetic body. Lift up the heels high here. Exhale as you bend your knees. Look up between your hands. Really press that chest back. Good, then inhale, lift the hips high, and exhale, lower the heels down. Bring the borders of the big toes together as you inhale here. We're going to float that right leg up. Spin that right inner thigh up towards the sky, lowering the right hip bone down. So we're squaring off the hips here. Bend that right knee. Let's stack it open. Right heel over to the left. Open up wide. Bicep towards the ear. And straighten out that right leg. Gaze forward. Step through into a lunge. Draw your chest forward. Wrap that right hip underneath. See that the right knee is over the right heel. And as you drop your left knee to the earth, then release the top of the left foot down. On your inhalation, hug your right heel and left knee together, bringing the arms up overhead into this low Anjalayasana here. Stack the shoulders over the hip bones. Press into the feet, lift the frontal hip bones up. Draw your front ribs down, lift your back ribs up. Good. And then lift up through the sternum, but soften the shoulders. Turn your right hand to the back of the room, place your right hand behind your head, and then just draw that left hand down, place the hand on the back of that left leg. Now start to lift up through the sternum, maybe taking that right elbow to the sky. Good. Sink into the lunge here. Good. Give it one more breath. Nice. And then exhale, take the hands to the earth. Left hand's going to stay down, left kneecap's going to lift. Press out through that left heel. Let's take a nice twist here. Pick up the belly and spin. Hug that outer right hip in. Beautiful. Exhale, and hand comes to the earth. Let's step back to downward facing dog. Hips lift up nice and high. Borders of the big toes touch. On your inhalation, left leg floats up. Spin the left inner thigh to the sky. Pull right hip crease to the back of your mats. And bend that left knee and open up your hip here. Let the left heel stack on top of the right sit bone. Keep pressing down into that left pinky finger so you feel more squared off in the shoulders. Lengthen out that left leg. Both hip bones are pointing straight down. Look up between your hands. Step through. High lunge first. Press out through the right heel. Hug that left outer hip underneath. And then lower the right knee. Lower the top of the right foot. Squeeze the left heel, right knee together. So you find that grounding sensation in your feet first. And then you rise up from there. So there's a buoyancy happening in the upper body. You can pull up the front of the hip bones, draw the front ribs down, back ribs lift, sternum lifts, shoulders drop from the ears. Turn your left palm to the back of the room, place it behind the head, right arm comes down. Place the hand on the back of that hamstring. Then see if you can ground down now to start to lift the sternum up. Good. Keep hugging, left heel, right knee together. Sternum lift, shoulder blades press into the back. And then exhale, windmill your hands down. Keep that right hand down, lift the right knee up, press out through the back of the right heel, and circle up into a twist here. Stack your shoulders, lengthen out from the bottom of that right palm all the way through the left fingertips. Gather in at the navel and spin towards the left. Exhale and take that left hand down to the earth. Let's gaze forward and simply step that right foot up to meet the left. Inhale here, full length of the spine, halfway up. Press down through the feet, lift up through the arches. Exhale, fold forward. Take a moment in this forward fold. Spread through the toes. Rock a little more forward to the front edge of the heels. And really relax down through the crown. Can you spin your inner thighs here towards the back of the room? Feel the frontal hip bones start to gather towards one another and hug in at the navel. Lift up through the pelvic floor. The more you can press down through the feet, lift up through the pelvic floor, the more length you'll find in the torso. Last breath, relax completely, chin towards chest. Beautiful, come halfway up on your inhale, hands line up with toes or place them on your shins. Exhale, fold forward, root down through your feet, and inhale, circle up through the arms, all the way up. Then lengthen up through both of the side waists. Gaze up, pull the front of the hip bones up, exhale, bring the hands to the heart, Tadasana. Now palms shine forward. We're going to do 2 rounds of Surya Namaskar A with a little variation. So just listen closely. Press down through your feet, inhale, circle up through the arms, we're still warming. Exhale, hinge at your hips and fold forward. Good, come halfway up as you inhale. These sun salutations are here to help awaken the inner light. Keep the chest reaching forward, bend the knees, step back to your plank pose. Overshoot your wrists with your shoulders, hug those elbows in tightly. Knees can stay up or down as you exhale. Lower yourself all the way down through Chaturanga. Stretch that left arm forward, bend your right knee, reach back with that right hand, find the top of the right foot. Keep really pressing down into that left leg, right thigh bone lifts up, and kick the foot into the hand. Keep your right hip bone pressing down, chest lengthening forward. Good. External rotation in that right shoulder. And then exhale, lower down. Take the hands next to the low set of ribs. Tuck your toes under, push up hands and knees or straight up to your plank. And exhale, return downward facing dog. Good. Breathing here. Good. Check in with the breath. Check in with the structure. Check in with the thoughts, what's going on through the mind, the emotional body. Any entanglement here. And breathing it out. Inhale, lift your heels high. Exhale, bend down through the knees, gaze forward, hop or step up to the top of your mat. Lengthen out as you inhale, shoulders draw away from the ears. Lift up through the belly, exhale, lengthen the torso down. Release the crown. Root down through your feet and inhale. Take it up from your feet all the way up. Find that buoyancy. Everything above the navel, light and lifted. Tailbone lengthening down through to the heels. Crown of head lifting up to the heavens. Exhale, hands to the heart. One more round. Root down through the feet. Inhale, circle up through the arms. Exhale, hinging at the hips, folding forward. Work evenly through the waist here, long back. Bend your knees, plant your palms firmly, step back, maybe with the other leg to plank. Overshoot the wrists, exhale. Chaturanga, lower down slow. Hips, belly, chest land at the same time. Beautiful, walk that right arm forward, bend the left knee, reach back, find the top of that left foot or ankle. Tense your right fingertips, good, keep pressed. Both hip bones stay pressing down. You're gonna lift the front of that left thigh up, kick the foot into the hand, and start to drag your sternum forward. So I want you to feel the beginnings of this back bend here. And then exhale, release. Hands come right next to that low set of ribs again. We tuck in. You either press up to your hands and your knees or you press straight up to plank with the hips lifting first. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come back to that rhythm of the breath. So as we work through these back bends, the idea here is to find buoyancy. When we work in through the heart, the opening up of the heart space, the element here is air. Let's take one more breath so you can connect to a feeling of lightness, of spaciousness. One more breath. And then take this next inhalation here. As I'm practicing outside, so sometimes we get little bugs here up on the mat to join me on my yoga mat. Lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Look forward, hop or step up to the top of the mat. Let's complete this sun salutation. Inhale into that intention. Exhale, release full embodiment. Push down through the feet. Inhale, rise up into that intention. Draw it into your heart as you exhale, really sealing it in. Salute to the sun. All right, we're going to move through a couple flows now, creating just a little bit more heat, a little more discipline, more tapas in this practice. We're going to root down, take your feet about hip bone distance apart, then bring the borders of the big toes together. Inhaling into chair pose. Sweep the arms up, sit back down into the heels. And really turning on the corset muscles here. Good, so press down through the feet. We'll go through it nice and slow. Lift the arches of the feet. I want you to feel like you have that yoga block here. Spin the inner thighs down. And now start to draw the frontal hip bones up and squeeze them towards one another, hugging in at the navel. So the pelvic floor draws the energy up towards the sternum. And then sink down just a little lower. Take your hands into your heart center. Push your hands together. On an exhale, take your right elbow, cross it over the left thigh. Come into a twist. Draw the right hip bone back, right sit bone back. Look down at your knees, see that they are even. Pull in at the belly. Keep cinching in at the waist as you start to spin towards the left. One more breath in that twist. Gaze down, take your hands down. Step back to a plank. If you want to skip the vinyasas here, just go to downward facing dog. Otherwise, vinyasa, chaturanga. Now, flip over the toes. Inhale, pull the chest forward, straighten the arms, upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Press the shoulder blades into the back, shoulders are stacking right over the wrists. Exhale over the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale here, float the left leg up, spin left inner thigh to the sky. Exhale, bring the left knee to the nose. Push your hands down. Vacuum that left knee up. See if you can give them kiss. And then inhale, left leg back. Exhale, step your left foot up through your hands, prepping for Virabhadrasana 1. Draw the right foot over, lower it down. As you come up, press into the feet, right hip bone hugs back. All the way up, shoulders up over the wrist. You now press your right pinky toe like it's pressing into the back edge of a wall. Really press down so the arch of that right foot lifts. We're going to spin the right hip bone forward, right rib cage forward, right shoulder blade forward. Sink down into that left thigh. Parallel that left thigh to the earth. Lift the frontal hip bones up. Sink down just a little more. Virabhadrasana 1. Drop shoulders from the ears. Good. Press your palms if that's available. Hands to the heart center. Turn your chest to the right, heel toe that left foot over to the right, and then open up into Virabhadrasana 2. You might have to adjust your stance a little. Again, press out through the right heel and turn your shoulders to the right over the hip bones. The pelvis is neither arched or tucked, right? So straight down, descend down through your front thigh, down through the tailbone. Good, feel that structure in your base. Hug the heels together. Press out equally through the arms, and then hug the inner shoulder blades towards the spine. Good, one more breath, Virabhadrasana 2. Go for it, drop down. Take your right arm behind your back, turn your left palm up, reach up like a big paintbrush through the sky. Exhale and reverse your warrior. Good, keep that left knee leaning towards that left pinky toe, and then exhale as you circle your hands down. Complete that with a vinyasa. Inhaling into your back bend, either upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, returning to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, right leg reaches to the sky. Spin the inner thigh to the sky. Exhale, right knee to nose. Press the hands down. Corset in at the navel. Cinch in. And then inhale, right leg to the sky. Look forward, step through. Walk that left foot over. Seal the knife edge of that left foot down. Hug the right hip bone back. Inhale, rise into Virabhadrasana 1. Pull the front edge of the pelvis up. Good. Sink down into the pose. Really press that left pinky toe into an imaginary wall. And then spin the inner thigh back. Left thigh bone forward, rib cage forward. Drop down even more. Good. Exhale, hands to the heart. As you open up into Warrior 2, right foot has to heel toe over about 2 inches. And then we open up from the heart all the way. We press your pinky fingers back and then draw the inner shoulder blades in. So you're bringing some stability, some structure into the pose. Gazing over that right middle finger. Left inner thigh spiraling back. Left hand comes behind you, maybe holding onto the right hip crease. Right palm up, and exhale, reverse warrior. Really saturate your breath, saturate your right ribs here with your breath. Sink down. One more inhale, and then an exhale. Return to the earth, circle down. Step back to your plank, exhale, overshoot. Now work with discipline here. All right, so you want to build the heat and the discipline to work mindfully through this practice. All right, so we don't want to rush it. Take it at a pace that you are able to continue to find alignment, to find structure, so that we are not working towards injury, right? But to build strength, and it takes discipline to slow down and work mindfully. So use the heat, use the tapas. Good. Take an inhale, lift your heel. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, hopper step up to the top of the mat. Inhale to lengthen out here, and exhale, hinge your hips to fold forward. Good, take an inhale here, find your chair pose. Sink down into the heels. Corset in at the waist for those frontal hip bones like you're putting on a tight pair of pants. Good. Draw the front ribs down, lengthen the back ribs up. Take the hands to the heart center. Take a nice big inhale, and as you exhale, let's complete this with a twist to the right. Left tricep over right knee, pull the left hip crease back. Press the palms, hug the belly in, twist towards your right. Good. One more breath. Big inhale. Deepest, fullest exhale. Good. Inhale, release down through chair. Big inhale, squat down even more. Rise up to standing. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Beautiful, take them down through Tadasana. Take a moment just to feel that vital life energy awakening even more. Feet root down, inhale, circling up through the arms. Exhale, right down through chair pose. Good, this time just hinge over your hips. Take an inhale, lengthen out, Ardha Uttanasana. Ground down through the hands. Exhale, step back, plank, lower down, chaturanga, or just stay in downward facing dog. Flip over the toes. Press the shoulder blades into the back. Big upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, one more round. Take an inhale, add on. Sweep up through the left leg. Exhale, knee to chest. Press down, scoop in. Really turn that transverse abdominis on. Left leg reaches back. Exhale, we're going to step through. Right foot walks over. One breath to the top. Virabhadrasana 1. Start at your feet. Start at the structure. Pull those frontal hip bones up. Sink down. Hands come through heart center. We open up gracefully into Virabhadrasana 2. From your center, open up Warrior 2. Flip your left palm over. Right hand comes behind the back and reverse that warrior. Are you keeping your back leg strong? Really pressing that pinky toe into that imaginary wall. Good. Now go ahead and straighten your right leg here, left leg, sorry, and pull the left hip crease back. Saturate those left ribs with breath. Reach your left arm forward. Let's find Trikonasana. Lengthen out through those left bottom ribs. Left hand comes down to the earth. You can always use a yoga block here if you like. Beautiful. As you're pulling that left hip crease to the back of the room, can you draw the right shoulder blade into the body? Turn your chest open. Roll down through the left big toe mounds. Release your right arm up to the sky. stretch between the collarbones. Lengthen the sternum through the collarbones as you lengthen the tailbone towards your back heel. Trikonasana. One more breath. Good. Return, bend that right elbow. Take it back into the left hip crease. Bend your left knee. As you press down through your feet, come right back into reverse warrior. Nice big reverse warrior. Beautiful. Right arm is going to stretch forward now. We're going to keep that length on the left side. Left arm is going to stretch forward. We're going to keep that length on the left side. Take your left hand down to the inside of your left foot, or some of you may even want to place it on a block. Good. Hug in at the belly. Press your sit bones into your body. Turn the chest open to the sky. And release your right arm up. Parshva Konasana. That right thigh bone's pressing straight back again. We're pressing into the right pinky toe. Spin the right pinky finger down. Exhale up and over. Big yawning breath over the right ear. Soften your right ribs. Lengthen your left ribs. One more breath. Feel the structure, the base of this pose. Heart open, turns to the sky. And then exhale. Take your hands down to the earth. Frame out your left foot. Heel toe it over to the left a little. And then drop your right knee down. And release the top of the right foot. Beautiful. Sink down through the hips. We're going to go a little deeper now. Pull your right heel in towards your body. Left arm's going to sweep around, so you're going to catch the top of the foot. We're going to play with two ways. First thing I want you to do is just turn your chest forward and your hip bones forward. And just draw the right heel in towards the body, so you feel a stretch more in the top of the right thigh, the quadricep. Pull the belly in. Start to lengthen the navel towards the sternum up. Beautiful. Now we're going to press the foot into the hands, and you're going to pull the belly in. As you press the foot into the hand, start to turn a little towards the left. Now feel the navel lift towards the sternum. And the sternum lift up, 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 up. Keep pressing the foot into the hand. Press the foot into the hand. So you feel the heart opener. Feel the shoulder blades press into the chest. Exhale and reverse out of that. Tuck under through the back toes. Lift that knee and step your right foot up to meet your left. Good. Inhale and lengthen out. Exhale and fold forward. Squat down, chair pose. Sink it all the way down. Squeeze those inner thighs towards one another and down towards the earth. And then inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Great work. We've got one more side. Push down through the feet. Inhale and circle up through the arms. Length through the body. Exhale, sit down into that chair. Navel should be strongly hugging to the spine. Inner thigh bones are rolling down. Hinge over the hips. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Ground those hands down. Keep the sternum long as you step back into plank. Overshoot your wrists, elbows hug the body the whole time. Lower chaturanga, stop when the elbows and shoulder heads line up. Scrub back through the toes. Really press into the tops of the feet, tops of the hands. Inner thighs are spinning up in this pose. Shoulders are pressing into the back. Gazing up at the top of the nose, neck is long. Exhale over the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right foot step, knee to nose. Sorry, I almost forgot that. And then inhale, stretch out through the right toes, find all that length. Exhale, step through. One inhale to the top. Virabhadrasana, one, all the way up. Vira, one. Lift the front edge of that pelvis. Take the hands to the heart center. Open up into warrior two. Right foot, heel, toes over. We stretch out from the chest. Pinky fingers draw back, then hug in. Press out through the left pinky toe. Take the left arm behind you, right arm heels up. Exhale and reverse your warrior. Sink down, pull that right hip crease back. Now straighten your right leg, prepping for Trikonasana. Right hip crease is hinging back. Right arm reaches forward. Find all that length in the underbelly here. Right arm comes down to the earth, to a block or to the shin, and start to turn your chest open to the left. Your tailbone pointing towards your back heel. Release the left arm to the sky. Soften down through the left ribs, lengthen out through the right. Lean back into that imaginary wall. And see if you can work for any more spaciousness here. Where can you liberate, find more freedom in the body, starting at the base with your feet, that nice strong structure. Bend that left elbow. Come back to that kind of half wrap here. Bend your front knee and reverse your warrior. Inhaling up, exhaling over, saturating your body with breath. Keep that front knee bent. Keep your left arm where it is and reach out through that right arm. Right arm comes down to the inside of your right foot and press elbow into knee, knee into elbow. Turn the chest open. Sit bones press into the body. And from the navel, start to articulate. Roll up through the chest. Can you open up your left collarbone, right collarbone, feeling that external rotation. Release your left arm, stacking collarbones. Spin your left pinky finger to the earth, and like it's coming out of that back foot, reach up and over the left ear. Keep pressing your sit bones into your body. One more breath. Gaze down, take that left hand down to the earth. Frame out your right foot, lift your left heel. Heel toe that right foot over a little, and then drop your left knee down. Pull the left heel in towards the buttocks, sweep that right arm up and around, catch the foot. If you can't catch the foot, you can just reach back here. Pull at first the heel into the body. And open up the collarbones. I want you to feel the inner shoulder blades coming together at the spine. Just pressing in, giving that left thigh. Can you maybe work for a little more squaring off on the shoulders here? Now do the opposite. Press the foot strongly into the hands. Lift the sternum up. Press the shoulder blades into the body. Starting to prep for that back bend. Good. One more breath. And then release the foot. Good. Unwind. Pick your back kneecap up and step up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Utkatasana. Drop it down. Ride that inhale all the way up to standing and bring the hands to heart center. All right, we've made it. We've made it to that peak pose, that peak back bending pose. Stand strong in your structure. Spread your toes, firming your outer hips in. Pull the front of those hip bones up, tailbone lengthening down. Now we're going to begin here just firming in our outer left hip. Bring your arms up over your head into Urdhva Hastasana. Front ribs drop down, back ribs lift up. Shoulders soften from the ear. Keep drawing the entire left side of your body into your midline. You're going to bend your right knee here and reach back and find the top of your right foot. Keep your shoulders squaring off forward, hip bones pointing straight forward. Press your foot into your hand so you start to feel your right arm engage. Turn your left hand to the back of the room, and then just place your left hand behind your head. The elbow starts to point up. Good. Keep the tone in the belly. And just slowly start to maybe push the foot a little more into the hand. Lift up through the sternum. Maybe pointing elbow up more towards the sky. And slowly release the left hand forward. Finding that balance. Pressing the right foot into the hand. Reaching forward. And just beautiful, giving this nice offering here in your dancer's pose. Offering that intention to the world. And then inhale. Slowly come back to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart. Take all of that in, that buoyancy, that lightness up through the front body. Awakening that vital life energy. Firm your outer right hip in. Inhale and bring your arms up to the sky. Find that Urdhva, one beautiful long line of energy, like you're between two planes of glass here. Hugging outer right hip in, stability Tadasana, staying in that right leg. Bend the left knee, reach back, find the top of the left foot. Line the kneecaps up, both hip bones facing forward. Draw the front edge of the pelvis up. Can you lift up through the pelvic floor and then keep that energy moving up through the sternum? Turn your right hand to the back of the room. Maybe just play with the back of the head first, keeping the elbow pointing to the sky. Pressing the foot into the hands so you feel that engagement of that left arm, left inner shoulder blade drawing into the spine, right inner shoulder blade drawing into the spine. And slowly release the right arm forward. Keep pressing that left foot into the left hand. Finding your Natarajasana, dancer's pose. Any variation here that you'd like to take. Make this just an expression of your intention, an embodiment of how you'd like to feel. And then when you're ready, inhale, release out of the pose. And come back. Tadasana. Beautiful work. Can you take your feet wide here? Inhale, reach up. Exhale, toes out, heels in, squat down. Malasana. Squeeze your inner knees into the outer arms into the inner knees. Tailbone lengthening down. Just feel here. Widen. One more breath. If you really like a crow pose, you can feel free to take that here. Little arm balance. I'll scoot back if you'd like to take that pose. Otherwise, just stay in Malasana or even place your yoga block. Here could be a way to take this pose too. Just to get some opening up through the inner thighs. If you're going to go for crow, take your hands down, press down through the wide circumference of the feet. Bring the heels together. Lift the knees, come onto the tops of the toes. Keep that sternum reaching forward. You want to work for buoyancy. Press down through the finger pads and then lift up your feet off the earth. Just be here. You can play with your crow or stay back down in Malasana, your choice. Just give it another breath and inhale and exhale. Good. Come out of your crow. If you're in your crow, straighten your legs, parallel your feet, walk them off your yoga mat for a moment, and take a forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. Arches of the feet lift. Just let the head hang. Can you lift up the pelvic floor, draw the frontal hip bones together, a little theme here, a little more length through the torso. Beautiful. And walk your hands forward. Take a step back into downward facing dog. Lift the sit bones up nice and high. Biceps forward, triceps underneath. We're going to take ourselves all the way down to the earth for one more back bend. Shoulders over the wrists. Feel free to chaturanga all the way down to the earth. Release the toes. Good. Final back bend here. Dhanurasana. So I want you almost to think of your legs like they were in chair pose. Bend your knees here. Like perhaps you feel like you might have a block between. So the knees are no wider than hip bone distance apart. Take your hands next to the low ribs. Press your pelvis down, but draw the belly to the spine. Just start to stretch your chest forward here. Just a bit. Widen the collarbones. Feel the inner shoulder blades come together. Reach back for the tops of the feet or ankles. Thigh bones are still pressing down. Pelvis is still pressing down. Shoulder blades are drawing into the spine. Chest, collarbones are widening. You're going to start to lift the thigh bones off the earth. Try not to squeeze your butt here. Instead, release your shins to the back of the room. Lift the thigh bones up. Stretch your sternum bone up, but soften the shoulders down. Give it one more breath. Dhanurasana. Bow pose. One more breath. And then exhale. Lower down. Make a little pillow for your hands. Sway your knees. So that's stimulation of the back bend. Maybe a little more freedom and space through the chest, through the front body. All that strength required in the back body to get us into those poses. Release your feet down. Take your hands, press up to next to your chest, press up to all fours. Take a backward child's pose for a moment. Oh gosh, first child's pose. Just realized we didn't do any child's poses today. One more breath. Come a little forward. Let's swing your knees to the right and feet to the left. We're going to come take a nice little twist. We're going to balance all those back bends with a twist. Sit down onto your right hip bone. Take your right foot and just place it into the arch of your left foot. So the right foot on top of the left foot. And take your left hand, just place it underneath the right thigh. Right arm behind you. Inhale up, pull the belly back. Let's come into this nice little mermaid twist here. Just reaching down through that right hand. You could take that left hand and tuck it under, pulling the belly back. Just releasing the mermaid twist. And left shoulder blade drawing into the spine. Just for one more breath. And then exhale and unwind. Let's do that same pose on the other side. Nice little mermaid twist. So just take your knees to the left and feet to the right. And we'll take the left foot and just place it on top of the right. So the top of the left foot is in the arch of the right foot. Sitting up nice and tall. Right arm comes around. You can feel free to tuck it into the underneath the left thigh or just place it on the earth. Left arm comes behind. Inhale up here first. Draw the belly back and then exhale. So the twist is coming from above the navel. And the collarbones wide. And just take this nice little twist. Notice that you're not leaning back or too far forward. Just give a nice straight line. Maybe gaze over the left shoulder. One more breath. Really feel prana just moving up and down your spine. And prana is that life force running through the body. That light, buoyant source of energy. Draw on and unwind. Beautiful, everybody. And unwind your legs. Sit forward. Let's cross at the shins, moving into a nice little hip opener. Let's work for double pigeon today. Stacking right shin over left, flexing the feet. If you have a little spaciousness here, don't worry about it. You could fill it in with your yoga block or a blanket. If this pose simply does not work for you whatsoever due to your knees, just cross your right shin in front of your left. And sitting up nice and tall. Take an inhale. Those of you that do have a yoga block, you might want to place it in front of you. Sitting up nice and tall on your inhale. If you have low back issues, just take the hands behind you and you'll feel that stretch into the right hip. If your low back is not bothering you, take an exhale and start to walk your hands forward and folding in here. Just feel the softness, feel the stretch in that right hip. And be here just for a few moments, stretching out and releasing. Deep, full breath. And turning inwards as we cool down this practice today. And see what opened up through those back bends. And stimulating. Now we're cooling it down. Inhale, lift up the chest, walk your hands back. And switching sides. Left shin stacks on top. flexing the feet, ankle over the knees, or any variation of a hip opener for you today. Start with lengthening first, drawing the belly back, and exhale and folding forward. So even though we're in the cooling more parts of the practice today, I still want you to use the discipline to work for evenness versus this need to go really deep in your pose. Work for balance and equanimity. Letting go versus clenching up or pushing or forcing into something. And the harder we push into something, the faster it's going to wear out. So just breathe and allow the body to go where it naturally wants to go in this moment, really connecting to this moment as a gathering place. Right? That you gather up everything here and feel into that connection to all things. All things. One more breath. Good. Inhale, lift the chest. Walk the hands back. We'll finish with one more forward fold today. Let's open the legs up nice and wide. Turn the feet up. Pull the pinky toes towards you. Roll the inner thighs down. Good. Press into the heels and lift up through the chest. And as you exhale, walk the hands forward or keep them behind you and fold into Upavishta Konasana. Fold forward. And the thighs are spiraling up. Press down through the tops of your thighs and through the heels. Lengthen through the torso, soften in the belly, soften the neck. One more breath. The sit bones rooting down as you inhale and rise. Take your hands underneath your knees, take your feet together, hands next to the hips, slide your hips forward. The soles of your feet together here and make your way down onto your back. Hold the edges of your yoga mat. Take your tailbone towards your heels. Soften the shoulders down from the ears. Take your hands behind you one more time. This time put the left forearm on top of the right. Soften your front ribs into your body. Take a deep breath. Prepping for Shavasana. Slowly straighten the legs. Your arms down along your side. If you have a blanket, you can cover your body here. Just place it over the pelvis. And turning your palms up. If you have any props next to you, just kind of move them away so your nervous system doesn't pick up on anything. Let your toes spill out. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale and release any physical tension that you might be carrying still into the Great Mother, into the earth. Shavasana. We'll be here just for a few moments. Nothing to do, to change, to fix. So you can inhale, feel into that pranic body, your energy body. Your energy feel light and free, and open. releasing any leftover busyness in the mind, clearing out the emotional body. So you fall into a feeling of sweetness and joy, of lightness, of ease. You intuitively know what's right for you. Intuitively feel your connection to all things. As you reside here for just a few more breaths in the Anandamaya Kosha, in the bliss body. Keep breathing. A couple more cycles of breath. Important part of the practice, Shavasana. Slowly start to reconnect with the breath. And take an inhale. Breathe into all the spaciousness, all the buoyancy, all the space within you, all the space around you. Exhale completely. Just draw the knees into the chest. As you rock a little from side to side, eventually rock yourself over to your right side. And pressing down to that left hand as you slowly make your way back to seated in any comfortable seat, sitting up nice and tall. And press down into the sit bones. Bring your hands to your heart center and rise up through the heart. Rise up through the heart. As you be here in this prayer, allowing your whole self to become a vessel for spirit, just to flow through you. So you really become this expression of your intention, this expression of love, compassion, joy, and equanimity. Breathe in, lift your heart. Exhale, bow into this sacred journey, to the blessings of your life. It's been a joy. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.